Hi everyone, my name is Olga, aka PNW Stitcher, and this is my channel about cross stitch. It was a while we met last time. Actually it was the beginning of the year. I showed you my plans, I showed you my dreams about what I want to stitch this year. But unfortunately life happened and I couldn't film for months and months, and finally I found some courage to do that. First of all, thank you all who reached to me and asked me how I'm doing and what is happening. Actually, in my life, all changed on 24th of February when my home country, my Russia, and my other beloved country, Ukraine, have a war now. And if you don't know, my husband is half Russian, half Ukrainian, and his mom lives in Ukraine. So for now it's a little bit difficult, but we're doing well. My mom is in Russia, his mom is in Ukraine, and they're safe, they're doing well, and I hope it will continue of their well-being. Okay, what should we do today? Today I'll try to catch up everything I didn't from the beginning of the year. I will show you my fully finished objects. Actually, they were starts and finishes of 2022. I'll show you all my WIPs just to catch up for you to know what I'm stitching. And then I will film every 2 weeks as I did before. Okay, let's start. I will show you my fully finishes, and I'll try to do that chronologically. Okay, my first fully finished was my kit from Maria Iskusnitsa, and the name of the berry is Ukrainian, and the name of this berry is Kalina, and so it's tea with Kalina, and I prefer this because I think it's like something like buckleberry, something like that, but I don't know actually. So I'll try to name it like I used to. I showed you this kit in my plans and in my WIPs, I think, in my last videos. So now it's fully finished. I'll show you closer. It has a little bit of back stitch there, and some of it is really complicated, but I'm happy how it turned out. So I framed it in a frame I found in Hobby Lobby, I hope, and here it is. It's stitched on 16 count Ida from Zweigart, and it was in a kit. So it was my first finish of 2022. Then I started and finished this little cute cup. The name of the manufacturer is Sozvezdia. It's Russian one. It's situated in St. Petersburg, Russia. I was born in St. Petersburg. It's my hometown. So yeah, I started and finished this one, and this start was just a couple of days before the war happened, started. And so yeah, I finished it with the, I don't know, so I didn't feel well. I tried to stitch it, but it was no mood for it and everything, but finally I finished it. It's a lot of back stitch here. Probably you could see my corgi hair here. It's a corgi glitter, you know. So I just ordered a frame from Art of Frames. It's an online framing service, and I'm pretty happy how they do their job. So here it is. It's really cute. I like it, especially this little pink cushion in a cup. So this was my set finish. I need my notes now because I don't remember what was next. Okay, next was House of Treasures by Stony Creek. I bought this chart 2 years ago, and then I slowly kitted it with all called for. It calls for a couple of classic color works and a couple of design Wix dye works and some DMC. Also it calls for these crystal daisies from Mill Hill and one color of Mill Hill beads. So this is how it looks. I'll try to show you closer. And again, the frame is from Art of Frames. I just like to use this service. Here it is. Then I stitched a kit from RTO, and it's like, oh, I don't remember the name of it, but it's like something about adventures. I'm a big Coke lover, I'm a big fan of it, and so I always have Coke on my table, so I drink it a lot. And this little hedgehog with the Coke can was just, I don't know, it's my self-portrait. And then I fully finished it in a tray. This tray is from the Creative Circle. It was an older, I bought it on eBay. It's oldie but goodie, so the Creative Circle tray. What I like about it, that the actual glass didn't touch the stitching, because it has this wooden like kind of frame in it. So it's not usual for me to fully finish something not in a frame, but this one is pretty useful. I use it a lot, like every day, and I'm pretty happy with that. So here was my finish. Then I finished a little kit from Luca S. It's from Moldova, and it's a little Easter. The name of it is Easter greeting card. The size of it, it's not like a normal holiday card, but I really like it. It's on Ada, and yeah, I forgot, the hedgehog was stitched on a 16 count Ada from the kit. If I stitch from the kit, I use all kits fabric and flosses, everything, so I did it with this kit, and here is my Easter greeting card. This frame is vintage. I found it in a thrift store, and I think it fits great, so I like it. I'm not about Easter stitching at all, but these little violas just caught my eye, and I decided that I have to stitch it. So I did. Here it is. Okay, I have a couple of finishes there. This one is temporarily fully finished because I'm not sure if this frame fits it. So it's a floral square pomegranates from Celine Emblem, and I stitched it like in 8 days. I was really I don't know, I just, you know, like dive in this stitching. It has a couple of cranings in it. I don't know if you can see this little rabbit and these birds, and the crown is with the craning, and this one with the craning too. It has a couple of weeks dye works and I think 30 colors of DMC here. So yeah, and these reds is not one color, it's not a hand dyed, it's just DMCs fading into each other, and it's great. It's a great technique. I like it. The fabric is, picture this, plus ale. So it's all called for threads and fabric. I just really like it. I'm not sure about this frame. Please tell me what you think, because, well, it's pretty good for this like contemporary type of samplers, but I'm not sure if I should change it or just leave it like that. I don't know. For now it's in this frame, and probably it will stay in it. I don't know. I know that Celine Emblem has another square. It's a blueberry square. Probably I will stitch it too, but for now I didn't buy it and didn't get it and everything, so yeah, here it is. Let's do closer. It has a little charm here. I put a year here and my initials, okay. Yeah, my initials are okay. I'm okay. Okay, and my last, for now, finish is this little box from the Wonderland from Ukraine. It's a great manufacturer, Ukrainian manufacturer. They situated in Kharkov, and when the war started, they stayed in Kharkov, and now I think they moved somewhere in a safe place, so they started to produce their amazing products again. This is a wooden box, so it was a kit with everything you need to make this little pincushion box. It has 2 compartments. I will show you. One is for beads. I already have some beads in there. It has a magnet there to put your needles on, and 4 little magnets for the lid to stay in place. And another compartment is just a box. I put my scissors there, and they have a chart, flosses, and Ida, and some kind of, I don't know, something. It's not a polyfill, but it looks like fabric made from polyfill. I don't know what is that. I'm not a sewer, so, but I think it's something you use to just layer and make your maybe quilt or something puffy. Batting. I don't know the word, sorry. Okay, it was my last finish for now, but I will have some maybe in 2 weeks. Okay, now let's dive in my WIPs. Well, for now I have 4 active ones and some let's say frozen ones. Let's start with my active, because it's something I'm working on almost every day. And the first one is this one from Nova Sloboda. It's Ukrainian manufacturer too, and this is what I have for now. Actually, it's almost a finish, so I should finish this one and a little corner of this, I think, like wooden fence or something like that. So this is a kit. It has anchor threads and this pretty 14 count Ida with the background. If you can hear my dogs, sorry, they're always somewhere here. Okay, so I almost finished it. I think today or tomorrow I will finish it completely. I already ordered a frame from the Rusty Roof on Etsy, and I think it will arrive next week, so I will have finished and fully finished. My next WIP is Mirabilia. Yeah, it's my first Mirabilia in last 15 years. I stitched Mirabilias, I gave it away. Okay, this is the Botanical Garden. We all saw it. It's a pretty new one. I think it's a release of last year. And this is Here I Am. I stitched and called for 32 count linen by Beachelt. The color of it is Touch of Pink, with all called for threads. Nothing special, and I love her, and she is my pretty active WIP. Okay, the third one, the active one, is another Nova Sloboda kit. I'll show you the picture on my iPad because I lost the preview from the kit. I don't know where I put it, but it happens, guys. It happens. It's just me losing everything in my own house. It's okay. That's how I work. I'm trying to find it. It's a pretty old one. It's a pretty old kit, and the name of it is Before They Start, and it looks like that. It has the printed background too, and here is my pretty tiny start. Has like 30 inches long, so yeah. This one is a sale in one of the Russians cross-stitching groups, and I participate in it, so I'm stitching that. And finally, my newest start is famous Let Love Rain from Teresa Kogan, and it's not so easy to show it to you because my frame is huge, but here I am. This frame is from Good Stitch. I ordered it from Russia, I think months ago, 2 months ago, so no, 4 months ago, before the war. Okay, that's here I am. Just hold on, guys. I'll close the window because it's a garbage truck making noises. Okay, so I finished all the, like, oh god, all the border on the gosh, speaking is hard. Well, so this is the all length of the border of this side, and I will go like to the bottom side of it. Well, I use some kind of rotation now, so I take my every WIP for a week, and this one and my Girl and the Sea, my first active WIP, they take me a week. And on weekends I take my 2 others. Works like that. So, and now I will show you my frozen WIPs. I have a lot. Almost all of them are kids, so you can see that. I'm sorry, they're wrinkled, I didn't iron it, and so I will show them as is. And first of all, it's Borscht from All Forest Embroidery. It's a kit. I have a kit. And I barely started it. Actually, I started it and finished all this central pot, but then I frogged it all because I made a boo-boo. I somehow stitched it like 26 rows, like lower than it should be. So I started again, I frogged it, I started again, and so here I am. Borscht will be the next active WIP after my Girl and the Sea, I think. I will not show you all flosses. It's all called for from a kit. It's pretty. I like it. I like Borscht. Okay, all my WIPs are in not so fancy bags from Amazon. I don't have any beautiful project bags, but I'm fine with it. I think let's keep it pretty minimalistic. Well, this is an older chart from Dimensions and Nancy Rossi, Words of Wisdom. These cute little lambs and these saying. I like biblical sayings, so it's 25 count linen, and that's where I am. Actually, I stitched all boring parts, and I need just to finish the arch with the flowers and a half of the saying. I hope I will do that this year. For now, it's a frozen WIP. My next one is a kit. Sorry for zipping, unzipping, but I don't want a mess here. So it's another kit from Luca S. It's a lilac and jasmine. I like these blue waves here. As you can see, I like the floral motifs. And so I barely started it just to understand how big it will be. And I don't know if you can see something, but it's just a crew shades of flowers there. when it would be an active WIP, I will stitch it pretty quickly, I think. So the kit, 16 count Aida and DMC flosses. Next one is an old one, a really old one. It's a kit from Imaginating, and the name of it is Polly Pincushion. Here she is. It stitches in 14 count Aida with DMC floss. I have just a face. Yeah, she's cute. I want to do a little stand up and put it on my table, because I don't know, it's really cute one. Has everything for finishing in this kit, and just don't have time to stitch her, because when I start I couldn't stop, because it's so easy to stitch and so fun to stitch her. She's in hoops, like I could just grab it and stitch it. Okay, there we go. I have some more really modest starts. It's just starts, not a works in progress actually. This is Mereshka, Jill and Zinnia. It's a new release from Mereshka, the release of this year. And when I saw that, I just immediately wanted to stitch it. It's a really complicated chart. It has back stitch, it has all kinds of difficulties in there, and this is my start. Actually, I'm a kind of cross-country stitcher, so I take a page and then I work with one color on all the page, and then I pick up another color and do this page. So yeah, here is my Jill and Zinnia. It will take, I think, couple of months to stitch. Probably I will do it in summer. Actually, I want to, but I'm not sure. This one is from Italian designer Crochet Go Go, and it's springtime. I have springtime and wintertime, but I like all these seasons they have. It's Crochet Go Go. I think in Italian it will be crocette, but I'm not sure. And this is my little start. And you know, this is big. This is big. It will be a pretty big one. And this is 32 count, even weave. I think it's Jobilano, Lugana. I don't remember, in a color limestone. And here I am. I just stopped with this and couldn't continue, but I definitely will. Okay, get ready for another ridiculous start. And this is all forced embroidery, vintage black sampler. Yeah, I'm pretty bad in starting, and here I am. That's all. This is a vintage country, not a mock, but some kind of 32 count linen, and I wanted all my crosses to be visible, so it's 1/2. I bought all the call for floss from all forest, And this piece of linen is huge. It's just huge. Sorry for this. Oh, gosh. So, can you imagine I will stitch it? Yes, I will. But when? It's a question. But I really like it. Probably I will stitch it soon. For me, it's a steampunk motifs, like Jules Verne books. Another one is my SAL stitch along with my friend Lena from Ukraine, and this is Dawn. In Ukrainian, it's a beautiful word, svitanok, and yeah, svitanok means dawn in Ukraine. And so here she is. She's beautiful. I love her, just love her. But my friend now in Odessa, Ukraine, and she doesn't have a lot of time to stitch, so we just barely started, and here I am. I just wanted to make sure that I'm on the right place on this fabric. So it's fabric from the kit and it's full coverage, so I'm fine with Aida. I like to stitch in Aida, on Aida, and so this one you will see on my channel because it's my Stitch for Ukraine theme. Now I have 3 WIPs, and all of them are holiday stitching, and all of them are Christmas stitching. I will continue them in autumn. And first one is a Merry Christmas messenger from Imaginating. I really like this kind of contemporary Christmas stitching, colors and everything. And I finished a jar completely, and now I just need to stitch greenery and this little medallion or tag. I don't know what is that. I think it's a little tag, like gift tag, and all the back stitching. It's a lot of back stitching, but I love it. It's pretty easy to make, like it's pretty easy to do. So some people just afraid of back stitching. I think it's nothing to be worried about. It's just one little step, you know. Put your right foot behind your left one. Let me see. Okay, this is Nora Corbett, a Red Christmas, and this was barely started last year. It's all stitches in silks. It's Karen Water Lilies. They're beautiful, but I'm a really slow silk stitcher, so I just started. Here I am, all wrinkly. It's 32 count American chestnut, I think, and yeah, I really like this series. Nora has, I think, like 8 designs in this series. This one, the biggest one, and my favorite one, I think. Okay, and my last WIP, actually, it was not my start. I inherited this pattern from my friend who passed away, and her son just gifted me some of her charts, and this is Shenanigans from Just Nan, and it's Crab at Santa. And it has all the charms and beads and all fancy floss like sewed floss, and this one called Tweedy. It's really interesting. So my friend started it, and I think I will continue. So now I count it as my WIP. This center has his face stitched over one, and this like 2 over 2 with the wool thread. So I think it would be an interesting WIP, and I think a hilarious finish. So that's all my WIPs. Not so many, but for me it's many. For me it's many. I'm trying to rotate them, except of holiday stitching, because for me it's pretty boring to just stuck with one and continuously stitching the one WIP. So I rotate them like every week, and on weekends I just take something small, or in my opinion small, okay? So for me, like, this one is tiny. It's not small, it's tiny. What is small? Well, for me, this Mirabilia is small. It's small. This one is medium, like all kind of small. So yeah, for me it's small. My Teresa Kogut Let Love Rain is big for me, and yeah, it's my first sampler ever. Like a big one, because this Celine Emblem one was my first technically, but like I never stitched a big one, so for me it's a big one. And yeah, I hope I'll explain all of it to you pretty clearly. So I will finish this video. It's pretty long, it's twice longer I usually film. I hope you liked it. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want, if you like my pieces. And see you next video. Bye.